You could go home tonight and listen to that class if you wanted to, but you really don't have to because you have the solution. All right, I'm going to work through the evens. All right, as I work through the evens now, I should be answering your questions. All right, now I've tried to tell some of you, and I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. If you're not happy with your grade, you just change what you're doing. Now we're at more than halfway through. You should be happier with math than you were at the beginning of the year. You should feel better. If you don't feel better, that's not my fault. All right? You've got to communicate. You've got to talk. All right? No one cares. All right? If you have 20 questions, no one cares. All right? Speak up so I can help you. Remember, I tried to tell you I'm not a good babysitter. All right? And Alex, I'm a little loud. I agree with you on that. So, you know, it's okay. All right? Fight back. If I yell at you, you can yell back. All right? Well, depending on who you are.
If you fight me,
all right?
you fight me.
Men, don't try it. All right? Here we go. Now, again, we're starting with the evens. All right? After we do some, I'm going to go through and give you the rest of the formulas for tonight, just to make sure. But again, today, the first part of it, I think, is the hardest. It's called the fundamental counting principle. The fundamental counting principle. All right? And again, it sounds complicated, but it's really not. All right? So let's get started with question number 2. All right? It says, first-year students at a school must choose one of each. 5 English classes, 4 history classes, 5 math classes, and 3 physical education classes. So how many classes or how many combinations can they take?
It's 17.
How did you get that?
Oh, wait. Oh, sorry. I added up all the classes.
Instead of doing what?
Instead of multiplying.
That is correct. You're supposed to multiply. So you have 5 English classes to choose from. You have 4 history classes to choose from. You have 5 math classes, and you have 3 PE classes. So you have how many choices?
You have to
Multiply them.
and you get 300.
So there are 300 different possibilities. I just feel like that's pretty easy. And that's a standard question on the ERBs. All right, they always ask about the total. All right, that is not difficult. All right, now please stay with me. Number 4. One spinner can land on red, green, blue, or yellow. Another can land on right foot, right hand, or left hand. How many possibilities are there? Tell me.
16.
16, because you have how many in the first?
4.
And how many in the second?
4.
So you have a grand total of 16 possible choices. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Alex, you still with me? Girls up front.
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Number 6. It says a number cube is rolled. How many choices do I have for that?
6.
6. All right. It says, what is the probability of getting a 5 or higher?
2, 6.
So again, very good. So the denominator is the total. The numerator is your successes, which basically means how many numbers are 5 or higher. How many are 5 or higher? 2 out of how many?
6.
You're distracted right now. Concentrate on what I'm saying. All right? I want you making A pluses. And why I'm saying that is because you can. All right, but you're distracted too much. Focus. I'm reviewing. No, it's a fraction. Probability for me is a fraction. You can do a percent, but again, probability is usually a fraction. All right, here we go. 8. It says a car dealership offers 10 different colors and 4 different interior styles. How many options are possible if a customer chooses one of each? There would be, come on, William. How did you get that?
Wait. I multiplied 10 by 4 is 40.
That's what you said. And what?
And then, oh no, I think
Just what's 10 times 4?
it's 40.
That's what you said. Very good. 40, right? How did I get 40? We did. How many colors? 10. How many styles? 4. 10 times 4, 40. That's it. That's how simple. You said
That's the
40.
answer? Yeah.
I got it on video. 40. All right, here we go. Question number 10. This is a good one. A coin is tossed and a spinner below is spun. Find the probability of tossing a tail. What's the probability of tossing a tail? Somebody. What is that probability? Jack?
1/2.
1/2. So I want everybody to write 1/2 down. What's the probability of getting a number greater than 2? What would that be?
6/8.
I would prefer you say 6/8. Just start out, even though I know most of you would just reduce that. All right, so that reduces down to 3 out of 4. So the probability would be 3 out of 8. All right, 3 out of 8. 12. A 6-sided die is rolled 2 times. What's the probability of rolling a 6 on both rolls? Well, what's the probability of rolling a 6 on the first one?
1 out of 6.
1 out of 6.
So you do 1 out of 6 times 1 out of 6.
Exactly.
36.
It's
1 over 36.
1 out of 36. All right, is everybody good with that? 1 out of 36. Just sit down. Just stay down. You're up and down too much today. All right, here we go. Now, for 13 through 18, I already did those. That goes to that problem, so we're skipping that. Does everybody hear me? The next problem, 19 through 24, apply to this one. It's the same problem, just different. Is everybody hearing me? So we're skipping that one. Go back tonight and do the other one. All right, but I'm reviewing now some of the geometry. All right, so let's review this real quick. Put your hand down. This symbol right here means what?
Parallel.
That means parallel. All right, which means it's going to be pretty easy to figure them out because they're all equal or they all add up to 180. That's the key to it. All right, right now it says the measure of angle 5 is 143. So everybody go and put 143 next to 5. 143 degrees. All right, Cole, tell me, what other measure do you know now? Look up and tell me.
Angle for angle 7.
Yep, what is that? Take a guess at it. Say it.
143.
Yes. And the reason it's 143, those are called, nope, vertical, yes. The ones directly across from each other are vertical. All right, I want everybody to make sure you have that note. You're supposed to know what vertical angles are. Vertical angles are the ones directly across. Give me another measure now.
143 is 6, and 6 is
143 is also 6. Very good. Now, what I'm going to highlight right here, pay attention. This angle and this angle, those are the corresponding angles. All right, those are corresponding. Now, somebody give me another angle measure. Tell me.
1 is 37.
Wow, very good. How did I know 1 was 37?
You
Subtracted from 180, which means they are supplementary. Again, those are the key words. Are you with me? All right, Miles, what other angle do we know?
What other angle do we know?
I'm missing 3, 2, 4, or 8. Which one? Tell me one.
We are missing 3, 2, 4, 8. We are missing.
I know, just give me the angle measure.
Okay, so 37 degrees.
For which one?
For a 3.
Thank you. 37 degrees. Thank you. That was easy. I appreciate it. 37 degrees. Ben, help me. Ben is 143. Thank you. Number 8. Very good. All right, and now, Kate, what else? Is
37.
You're right. 2 is 37. And then obviously 4 would have to be what also? 37. Now take this time and fill in 7, 6, 4, 2, 1, 8. Put those answers in, please. You good? Pretty easy, right? Remember? Question. All right, here we go. Now, 26. What are those two angles called? Those two angles are complementary. That is correct. Complementary, which means they add up to what? 90 degrees. They add up to 90. So if they add up to 90, then x would be? Good mental math. All right, practice your mental math. 90 minus 18. You 90 minus 10, then minus 8. All right, perfect. 72 degrees. Moving to 28. Those two angles are called? Supplementary, which means they add up to 180. So again, you're practicing your mental math. 180 minus 50. 130. And then minus another 5. 125. That's how you're doing mental math for that. 125 degrees x. All right, any objections so far? Everybody agree it's pretty easy?
Yep.
All right, good review for our ERBs. All right, 30. What are those called? No. Adjacent. Not only are they adjacent, that's good, but they're also supplementary. All right? Adjacent just means they share a ray.
So could
All right.
Can I say supplementary in the test instead of that?
Yes, supplementary is actually the answer we're looking for. Supplementary is actually the answer we're looking for. So in this case, x would be, now let me, again, practicing your mental math. 180 minus 80 first. That's what? 100. Then you subtract the 7.
93.
93. I just think that's an easy way to do that.
Don't corresponding angles also share the same way?
Now let's talk about this. Let's review corresponding. Since somebody asked me about corresponding, let's look up. All right. When you have corresponding angles, please look up here now real quick. And let me try to show you something. All right, for corresponding. All right, everybody pay attention because, again, I don't think I'm necessarily going to put corresponding on the test, but I want to do a better job because it is on a lot of tests. So please look up now so I can explain corresponding. All right, so corresponding angles are angles that are on the same side of the transversal and on the same position of the parallel line. So what I mean by this is this angle 3 corresponds to 4 because it's on this side of the transversal and on top of the parallel line. Is everybody with me? And then I would say, hold on, you can see, then I would say that this angle here, angle 8 and angle 7 are corresponding because they are both what? Below, right? And on the right side. All right? Either way, you're seeing things differently is perfectly fine. All right? And then we would say angle 5, come on, angle 5 corresponds to angle 6. And 2 with 1. All right, those are corresponding. And if the lines are parallel, those angles are congruent to each other. All right, so basically what I tell my kids is all of the obtuse angles are what? Equal, and all of the acute angles are equal. That's the easy way to think about it. All right, now let's go down to the hard one. All right, let's look at, actually, no, yes, let's look at 34. Those are complementary, do you agree?
Yeah.
So that means we got to do some algebra now. They add up to what? They add up to 90. So now, look carefully, please. Pay attention. 3x plus 2x, help me,
5x.
is 5x. Then I want you to take a look at a plus 6 and a minus 11. Minus 5. There you go. Minus 5, and they have to add up to what?
90.
90. So 5x equals 95, so x was 19.
That's what I got.
Now, of course, that's not the correct answer because they ask for what is the measure of each angle. Now, again, kids who normally make B's on the test, this is a big reason why. Because you don't answer what? The right question. You just answer your initial question, which was x equals 19. Now to figure out the measure of each angle, we say angle G is equal to 3 times 19 plus 6. And of course that is,
63.
I think it's 63. Does everybody agree with that? And then of course, because they're complementary, it'd be easier just to subtract that from 90, which means it is 27 degrees. Yes, ma'am.
I don't understand. Like, I still don't understand how you do 5x equals 5.
You mean how I solved that?
Yeah. Like,
We're undoing multiplication. So I divided. Because this is multiplication. How do I undo multiplication?
I think she doesn't understand how you got 95.
Right?
Like, I just don't know why you did that.
How did I get rid of a minus 5?
Divide it.
I'm asking you a question. How do I get rid of minus 5? Right. Right, because you're working backwards.
Oh, yeah.
So look, 5x minus 5 equals 90. Plus 5 plus 5. That eliminates.
Oh, okay.
And now we're undoing multiplication. So to undo multiplication, we divide.
Oh, that's
Yep. And 95 divided by 5 is 90. All right, here we go now. Now, the angles of a triangle add up to what? 180. Everybody good with that? So let's look at question number 36. All right. So if they add up to 180, all right, x would have to be what?
100.
Now again, now's the time where we're kind of doing some mental math, and some of you just sitting there, you're not sure how I got 100. Anybody have any issues with 100 degrees? Nobody? All right, so if that's 100 degrees, how do we measure it by angles? It is obtuse. Thank you very much. And then we label it by side. So it would be obtuse what? Yes, obtuse scalene.
And isosceles is...
Isosceles means two sides are the same. Equilateral means three sides are the same. Yes.
How do you tell if it's obtuse?
Remember, obtuse greater than 90. So if there's one angle greater than 90, so this angle right here was 110, therefore it's obtuse. All right, there's only allowed to be one obtuse. All right, it's acute if all the angles are less than 90. Quick.
On the test, we're going to be out loud.
No, I'm banning calculators from now on. You guys just keep using them during the classwork. Does that sound fair? You okay with that?
Yeah.
Carly, you're okay with that, right? Yeah, thank you. Carly's okay with it, so we're going with it.
No.
She's
Oh,
kidding.
You said no.
She's happy. You're not using calculators.
Wait, are you joking?
No, of course. Why would I let you use a calculator all for the last month and then all of a sudden not use calculators?
So,
All right, come on, guys. I'm raising smart kids here.
that would make
All right.
sense, because that'd be really mean.
That would be really mean.
Actually,
Well, that's
now...
a good idea now.
Yeah, I guess
I'm going
it
to get
does
back
make
at
sense.
you. Yeah. Here we go. So somebody help me with 38. What is x?
X is 31.
Anybody believe that?
Yes.
Yes.
Is that 31?
Yeah.
All right, so if x is 31, what type of triangle? Acute and scalene. All right, so we're good with that. All right, now I want everybody to go to 42 and put a star by it because this is the hard one. All right, this is the hard one. All right. Now, again, first and foremost, I just want you to draw a triangle. All right.
Oh, I remember that.
I want you to draw a triangle. And for, like I said, for whatever reason, kids have a hard time with this. All right.
Oh my gosh.
So when you draw the triangle, it says the ratio of the angles are 2 to 4 to 6. So what does that mean?
It means that that's like that's the relation between the actual angles.
Exactly. So how do I figure out what it is? Tell him. You are amazing. 2x, 4x, and 6x. That's what we're looking at. All right, that's what it means. All right. And so now we have another math equation. All right, we have to add up the angles, and that would add up to
12x.
12x, correct. So you would say 12x equals 180. Carly, you still with me? By the way, I was just kidding about the calculators. You know that, right? All right, you looked a little frazzled when I was saying. Oh, no. Here we go. And then what? Divide by 12. So again, the average kid would say the answer is 15, but we are not average. X is 15.
So now
That's
you have to
not the
multiply.
answer. You have to find the answer to the angles.
So
What are the angle measures? So I would do,
So you would do 2 times 50.
and you better not be using a calculator for that.
30.
That is how many?
30.
30 degrees. And what's 4 times 15?
60.
60 degrees. And then 90. All right? So 30 degrees, 60 degrees, and 90 degrees would be those 3 angles. All right? Now, what I'm going to do now is we're just going to finish up by giving you the right formulas. And listen to me, I'm not giving you the formulas for the test. All right? So, the sum of the measures of a polygon, what is the formula? It's right there on the board. The sum is equal to
Number minus 2 times 180.
the number. What does n represent again? The number of sides or the number of angles. Either way. All right? N minus 2 times 180 is the number of sides. Does everybody understand what I'm saying? N represents the number of sides. All right? So now, who remembers the formula for the measure of the interior angle of a regular polygon?
1 interior angle?
Yep.
It's n minus 2 times 180 divided by 9. Or, I mean, side, sorry.
Yes, you're fine. Perfect. That's exactly correct. Here we go. The interior angle. All right, which kind of makes sense because the total is n minus 2 times 180. So if I want to find out what each one is, you just divide by the number of angles that there are. So that's the formula. N minus 2 times 180 divided by n. Any objections or concerns there? I didn't think so. Thank you. I'm not sure we got that on video or on. All right, here we go. Circumference of a circle. What was that formula? C is equal to pi times d, or 2 pi r. Now what I'm hoping you're doing is you're writing the formulas down like I'm doing for the particular section so you can refer to those so you don't want to make a mistake and miss all of them because you wrote the wrong formula down. All right? So that's the formula for circumference. And now we have the formula for area, which is what?
Area is equal to pi r squared.
Pi r squared. All right, which was we did the last couple days, so that's really fresh in your mind. All right, now look, some of the word problems might be a little tricky. All right, your job tonight is to do as many of the evens. All right, that's what I want you concentrating on. Do the evens. All right, now again, I always try to tell kids, for those of you guys who want to do better, try to do the whole thing. Might be hard to do the whole thing, but if you did the whole thing, you'd know exactly what your weakness is. I promise the test is going to be just like that. All right, nothing different. Absolutely nothing different. All right? So now, you got the next, whatever, how much time do we have?
3 minutes.
3
Can
minutes.
you just go back to the interior?
The interior angle is n minus 2 times 180
Okay, I was
divided by n. You good now? All right. Keep working. Keep working. Do all the evens tonight. And then we will go over any questions or concerns that you have tomorrow. You're busy.